Well, good evening, everyone. It is almost 10 o'clock on Sunday evening, and I figured everybody might want a quick update on where we're at winter weather wise. So I'll give you that breakdown here in just a second. But I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Amen Plumbing, who makes this live stream possible. Thank you, Amen Plumbing, for all you do for the stream. If you need plumbing services, reach out to Amen Plumbing, and after you do, you will say Amen. Thank you, Amen Plumbing. All right, well, let's get right to it. It's cold out there. It's 31.5 degrees at my house right now, and that will be the trend that we see for the next couple of days. I don't think we're going to see temperatures get out of the 30s. And to kind of give you an idea of where we're at regionally, we'll put that temperature map up there. 31 at the airport, 32 at Addison, 29 in Denton, 30 degrees in Fort Worth, 32, 33 south and southeast of us. So there's a couple questions that I want to address tonight, and it's the question that's on everybody's mind is what's it going to do tomorrow? And what's it going to do on Tuesday and Wednesday and even Thursday? So I'll try to summarize what we know right now, and I will say anytime you have a winter weather situation in North Texas, it can be complicated. So I'll cut to the chase and then I'll go into the details. Tomorrow doesn't look too bad. Tuesday doesn't look great at all. Wednesday doesn't look great either. But we'll kind of go into why that may or may not be the case. So let's start tomorrow. Let's see. Actually, before we do that, let's go to some watches and advisories and all that good stuff. So right now, as I mentioned earlier, posted earlier today, we're under a winter storm watch. So let me repeat that. We're under a winter storm watch. We don't have a warning. We don't have an advisory out right now. I would not be surprised to see an advisory sometime tomorrow. Certainly for maybe tomorrow evening, Tuesday. But again, we're a little far out for that. So the winter storm watch, what we're concerned about is icing. This is not going to be a snow event, not going to be anything like that. Unfortunately, it'd be kind of better if it was. But we're looking at freezing rain and sleet. Right now, the thought is that it would be more freezing rain and sleet, but some of the models are kind of hinting more at sleet than freezing rain. And so if it's going to ice, which it will probably do in some form or fashion somewhere in North Texas, what we're hoping for is that it's sleet as opposed to freezing rain. Freezing rain coats roads, coats power lines, knocks out power. The freezing rain is no good. Sleet, on the other hand, doesn't tend to knock out power, doesn't accumulate on surfaces, certainly doesn't accumulate on power lines. And while it's certainly hazardous to travel on, it's not near it's the lesser of two evils, that's for sure. So that's something that we kind of are hoping trends more toward the sleet as opposed to freezing rain. So that's all possible. Again, we're not to an advisory. We're a little far out to get to an advisory standpoint, but like I said, that's why the Weather Service just was cautious, obviously, in the issue they watch. All right, so let's get my slides working here. So that's our winter storm watch area. Again, all of Dallas-Fort Worth, everything south, everything west and north. Northeast, really. Southeast, past Corsicana, Canton, Palestine, not really in those areas. So probably just rain down that way. Although that could change. We'll have to watch that. So, all right. So for tomorrow, this is the map for tomorrow, and the pink is where we could see some freezing rain, probably more like freezing drizzle, at least initially, and then some sleet. Now, the timing is the key here. All the models right now don't really show a whole lot happening tomorrow morning. I think it's going to be cold. It'll definitely be close to freezing, if not a tad below. But I don't anticipate any impacts tomorrow morning. And probably impact-wise, probably not a whole lot until after sundown tomorrow. That doesn't necessarily mean we wouldn't see any freezing rain or sleet or anything like that during the afternoon hours. It's just that I don't think it's going to be enough to be impactful for travel. Now, this is Texas. It can change, so it's something we definitely want to keep an eye on. But right now, tomorrow looks okay. I think if we can get to sundown and not have travel problems, or at least major travel problems, I think we'll get in. We'll get tomorrow in okay, and then it depends on what happens after that. Just want to make sure I'm not Okay, just checking my comments real quick. Okay, and so that's tomorrow. So tomorrow does not look to be a major impact event tomorrow. Not saying you couldn't see something that's frozen. It's just that right now it's not looking like it's going to be terribly impactful. So going on into Tuesday, really Monday night into Tuesday morning, that's where it's going to get a lot trickier. So this is some a map that shows the possibility of travel impacts. This is not necessarily saying it's going to sleet this much, have this much freezing rain. This is just related to travel. And so the red, which is northwest of Denton, they anticipate high impacts to travel there. The orange, moderate impacts. That includes Fort Worth, McKinney, Denton, the northwest part of the Metroplex, and then quote unquote low possibility of travel impacts in the yellow, which includes the rest of the Metroplex and areas south and east and northeast. Now, like if you've been in Texas any length of time, DFW for whatever reason is classically known for where this freezing line sets up right in the middle. So we've had a freezing line cut right through the middle of Dallas Fort Worth. So everything north of that line is frozen and travel is horrible, and then everything southeast of that line is just good old fashioned cold rain. That's the key to really a lot of things for this whole weather event. It's where that line sets up. Some models, which I'll show you in just a second, some models want to put that line northwest of Dallas Fort Worth. Some want to put it right in the middle, and some want to put it way south of us. Now, obviously, if it was way south of us, then we'd all have impacts, and that ultimately wouldn't be great, but we'll just have to kind of watch that as we go along. And this is Wednesday, because again, it's not just a Tuesday event, it's a Tuesday, Wednesday event, because if we get freezing rain, if we get sleet in any form or fashion on Tuesday, the temperatures aren't really going to go anywhere going into Wednesday morning. So I think, in Wednesday, we're still supposed to get some more precipitation. Again, what form it takes, that's a whole other story. So I think regardless of what it does on Tuesday, whether it sleets or freezing rain, I think Wednesday morning will definitely be tricky as well. So we're probably looking at a Tuesday, Wednesday type event. And if it doesn't get any better Wednesday, it could creep into Thursday morning. So that's something that's, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves there, but it's definitely a Tuesday, Wednesday type thing, at least from what I can tell. Okay, so I wanted to show a couple models here to kind of give you an idea of the disparity of what some models show. So this is our colder model, and all these maps are tomorrow at about 3 p.m. So they all are about the same time frame. And you can see there temperatures upper 20s, not good. If it's even if it's freezing drizzle, which there's a chance, then would not be good for our roadways. So that's one model tomorrow. Well, here's another model, and so this model has DFW at 37. And so again, it's going to push that freezing line. This model wants to push that freezing line back to the northwest. Well, if that's the case, it's just going to be good old-fashioned rain and really drizzle tomorrow. Not really a lot of rain tomorrow, but again, it doesn't take a whole lot of precipitation if the temperatures are close to freezing. So there's a model discrepancy for you. Okay, so now again, this model that had the temperatures that were 37, of course, this is precipitation mode it shows, which the green is rain, and so of course, obviously that would match up. So hey, it's just going to be cold, sprinkly. This is tomorrow at 3 p.m. And again, no big deal. This is another model which doesn't show much at all. Again, if it does show some patchy light rain, some drizzle. Again, temperatures in the mid 30s, no big deal. So this is tomorrow, 3 p.m. Now, on the more pessimistic side, tomorrow afternoon, this is one of our colder models. Again, you don't see a lot of precipitation here, but the reddish color is freezing drizzle. The purple, for reference, is sleet. And so, definitely think it's going to do that. This is probably the most pessimistic model we have, is that this is 3 p.m. on Monday. It's not a lot of heavy amounts of rain, but again, there would be no doubt that it would be freezing rain. And of course, you could tell where the freezing line would be. The freezing line would be southeast of Dallas Fort Worth, and I think that's the reason that the National Weather Service has issued the winter storm watch, because they're kind of going out these. There's a couple models like this, not just this one, that's given a worst case scenario. So that's they got to err on the side of caution, especially when there could be travel issues. But this is all on Monday. So I just wanted to give you a feel for that, because it's something that can be tricky because here's the bottom line. I'll go back to the winter storm watch area. So the bottom line is this, is that number one, it's going to be cold. So that's a given. Number two, it's going to precipitate, probably starting in a significant sense, probably tomorrow evening into Tuesday into Wednesday. So we have two givens that we pretty much are confident that it's going to happen. So now it gets a little tricky. So what's the temperature going to be when it does this? As you can soften that one model, the warmer model, it's just going to be a cold rain and everything's going to be northwest of us. So in that scenario, when you wake up Tuesday morning, no problems. I mean, it'll be messy and rainy and wet and cold, but temperatures in the mid 30s. That's not going to be a big deal. But if the colder model verifies, then Tuesday morning would be a mess, and by extension, Wednesday morning would be a wet mess. So it's that classic. Hey, just tell us what it's going to do, and that way we can plan accordingly. Well, if the temperatures were in the 40s, say, then nobody would care about this forecast. When's it going to start raining? When's it not going to start raining? So, but because temperatures are so close to freezing, or will be so close to freezing, of course, right now we're below freezing. Then that's where it gets the timing of rain and what type of rain or what type of precipitation it is, and that's changes everything. And then, of course, where does that freezing line set up? Is it right through the Metroplex? Is it northwest? Is it southeast? And so we're about 24 hours away from probably the main event. Because like I said, I don't think tomorrow's going to be a big deal. Again, not saying you wouldn't see something frozen, but it looks like right now it's just not going to be heavy enough to be concerned about. That could change. Definitely going to be watching it. But right now, I don't think you need to make any changes to your plans tomorrow if you have plans, i.e. school, work, things like that. But, when you wake up tomorrow morning, of course, that's obviously something I'm going to be watching tomorrow morning. Texas weather can throw us curveballs. And, while we're not expecting anything, any impacts in the morning, it's just something we'll have to watch. And then, like I said, I think the main focus would be Monday evening, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I think those are the days that if you do have plans, then it's probably you're probably going to have to change them. That's what I would say for sure. All right, let me check the comments here real quick. Patricia Stevens, you're welcome. She's saying thank you. Ashley, thank you. Ashley Mims, thank you for doing this. I have to go back to catch the beginning of this. Yes, it will be replayed. Angela, who's selling Girl Scout cookies. I need them for survival. Well, I had some in my house, but they're about gone, Angela. Sorry about that. And then Ashley says soccer got canceled for tomorrow. Well, that's probably a good call on their part, because even if it doesn't do anything tomorrow, it's going to be cold and windy. So I sure wouldn't want to be playing soccer outside tomorrow. Let me check my other streams here to make sure I'm not missing any comments. Let's see, over on YouTube, Andrew. Oh, thank you. You're welcome, Andrew. Paint Boy, thank you. You're welcome, I should say. Appreciate you watching. And let's go over here. All right, so I know it's late, so I know a lot of people probably are going to catch this later. But again, if you're just joining us, I'm about to sign off, but but if you're just joining us, we Winter Storm Watch, as the screen says, and not expecting a whole lot tomorrow. Not saying you wouldn't see anything on the light side, but not expecting any impacts. Tomorrow night, Tuesday, Wednesday is the main show, and I will be on top of it all during the event, bringing you updates, whether a live stream or a text update on social media. But again, I don't think in the big... And by the way, this is not going to be an extended cold snap. This is not going to be what we had 2 years ago, so there's nothing like that. And it's not even going to be that cold, relatively speaking. I think the coldest they'll get through this whole event might be 26, 27. So it's not going to be pipe freezing type stuff. And so I don't think it's going to be anything like that. But it's just something that for the next, starting tomorrow from an awareness standpoint, but certainly tomorrow night, Tuesday, Wednesday, might be impactful, might alter your plans. David, thank you. I enjoy doing the updates, and like I said, it's a lot of people have questions, and so I try to come on here. And like I said, I know it's late, but there was this football game on that I was watching, and so I was gonna wait till the football game was over. All right, so let's see. Before I sign off here, I want to make sure I'm not missing any comments here. Don't see any more. I know there's just a slight delay of when you type them and when I see them. All right, so let me go through these real quick, real fast, and then I'll sign off. So again, this is the Area Winter Storm Watch. It is for pretty much, if you're probably listening to this or watching this, it's pretty much in your area. This is tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, I should say. Don't let the pink scare you like it's going to be, an ice rink tomorrow. It's just a freezing rain, sleet possibility in the afternoon. So minimal impacts until we get past sundown, and then that's going to be a different story, I think. And then the impact on roads, again, high impact in the red, moderate impact in the orange, and a lower impact in the yellow. And I would say the yellow would basically tell you that might just be bridges and overpasses where the roads might be okay. And then this is Wednesday morning. Everything you see in the pink, DFW is the next to last at the bottom from pretty much midnight to noon. You would probably see some form of freezing rain, so not a great day. And then again, temperature model, the colder model, 20s tomorrow, the warmer model, upper 30s. Quite the difference, which, of course, when you look at the simulated radar, the warmer models will give you green rain, and the colder models will give you freezing rain and sleet. So that's what we're dealing with in Texas. We're dealing with, hey, it could be this, it could be that. So, but the bottom line is just be aware. And I would say take it easy no matter what. But I'll be updating everybody tomorrow. Give us an idea of what's going on. And again, I want to say thank you to A-Man Plumbing. They made this stream possible. If you need a plumber, contact A-Man Plumbing. Once you deal with A-Man Plumbing, after they fix your problem, you will say amen. Well, I'm watching the weather so you don't have to. Hope everyone has a great evening, what's left of it. And we will talk to you tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone.